Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today, a year ago on July 15th, I got off a plane from Europe and I came home from a wonderful semester abroad at Cumorah Academy in the Czech Republic. In order to celebrate my year mark and reminisce about Cumorah Academy, I thought it would be fun to make a video and tell you guys all about Cumorah. While I was in Cumorah, I wrote 3 journals, so I figured today we could look through those journals, talk about what Cumorah is and why you should go, and have a fun time. So let's jump in. Cumorah Academy is a non-profit international school offering 3-month programs focused on personal, professional, and spiritual growth. Students from around the world live and learn together while developing leadership skills, career tools, and a strong sense of purpose. The experience includes service projects, classes, and community building in a values-based, Christ-centered environment. I do want to note that this is not a sponsored video. Cumorah Academy does not know I'm even making this video. If someone from Cumorah sees this video, then just know I love Cumorah Academy with all my heart, and I am eternally grateful for the semester I spent there. But this is not sponsored. However, I do think you should go to Cumorah because it's amazing. This is journal number 1 that I wrote while at Cumorah Academy. I love this journal so much. My good friend Sydney got it for me because she knew I would be leaving on this trip, this internship to the Czech Republic. And you can see it's all customized and she put my name on it. These are sold on Etsy. I can find the link in the description. I love this journal. So it's so fun to look through it. I actually haven't looked through these journals at all the last year, so it's going to be really awesome. So it starts April 14th, 2024. Right now I'm in the Amsterdam airport waiting for the flight to Prague. I can't believe I'm here. I'm in another country. I'm excited and nervous for this internship. 9 hours and 50 minutes of a flight. So, kind of a fun entry to remember that. I had never left the country before this, so it was such a fun, it was so fun. The second page, I drew a little canola flower. They were beautiful. Canola fields everywhere. Loved it. All right, let's dive into journal number 1, which was just so fun. Got off the plane at Amsterdam and then got on another plane to go to Prague and see Cumorah Academy. I feel like one big theme of this journal was me trying new things and having new experiences and really falling in love with the Czech Republic, with Cumorah Academy. The term rolling hills has never really applied to me before, but in the beautiful Czech countryside, it totally applies. The canola, the rolling hills, it was beautiful and gorgeous. I seriously cannot wait to get back. I love the Czech Republic so much. The interns got there a few days earlier than the students so that we could get some training and kind of get used to the way Cumorah Academy runs. I was there for an internship as the content creator. I went to college for social media and digital marketing, and I went to Cumorah to be their content creator for 3 months and help them with their social media, write some blog posts, make some video scripts. I worked closely with another intern who was the photographer, and together we created content for Cumorah, and it was amazing. So far in my journal, I was journaling some of the first impressions and experiences I had. I tried a new type of chocolate. I painted. You'll see a bunch of poems in my journals. Cumorah was a really good creative outlet for me. I was able to be creative, and I ended up having a lot of drawing practice and wrote some poems, and it was really awesome. I also journaled about when the students arrived, and then I journaled about our Cumorah trip to Prague, which was absolutely gorgeous. I ended up going to Prague a few times during the semester, and I just was blown away every time. We had a group of us who did a little Prague tour with a tour guide that you paid for, and he showed us all the cool sights in Prague. He had an orange umbrella that he would hold up so we would know where to go, and it is just gorgeous. This page is full of stickers from cool spots in Prague that I just loved it. I read an article that said that Prague is the handsomest city in Europe and has intoxicated writers, poets, and artists for centuries. I'm a writer and I'm a poet, a budding artist, and I was totally intoxicated by Prague. It's gorgeous, beautiful architecture. I want to go back. You'll hear me say that a lot in this video, because basically every place we went and everything I experienced, I just loved so much and I want to go back. So get used to it, because I want to go back. Midway through the first month of the semester, they started this accountability challenge, which was so good. I love the accountability challenge. The accountability challenge, you're doing I think by the end of it, you're doing 9 tasks a day, but it builds slowly. And it doesn't really matter what tasks you're doing per day, just that you're being held accountable for those tasks. So you have to do the tasks and then text that you did your tasks, you accomplished that. And if you get 3 mistakes of either not doing a task or you forgot to text, if you get 3 of those, then you're out. You're out of the challenge. And this challenge lasts maybe a month. And it is so good. Seriously so good. It's so hard, but it's so good. I was able to finish the accountability challenge without getting any X's. And that was amazing. Taught me a lot. I was really grateful that I was able to keep up with it and do everything every day. It was probably the proudest moment from my whole Cumorah experience, and I had a lot of things that I personally felt like I could be proud of. There were a lot of posts and blogs and things I helped with on the content side that got a lot of views, got some comments, was impressed, my boss was impressed by, that I could have been. I was proud of those. I am a poet, and I wrote a poem about Cumorah called Cumorah Calls, and the director and CEO of Cumorah, Patrick, he shared it to his LinkedIn, and that was such a cool moment. Very proud. But probably more than anything else was that I stuck to the accountability challenge and I completed all the tasks every single day and I texted it in. And I'm just so grateful that I did that, because I feel like I learned so much and grew so much, because there were definitely mornings where I did not want to get up and exercise. I didn't want to draw something in my journal. I didn't want to do whatever that task was, but I did it anyway. And I wish that I kept up on some of those habits after the accountability challenge. I mean, I've done a few here and there, but I haven't done daily tasks like I did when I was in the accountability program. I'm just so grateful for it. One of the tasks I did was to draw every day in my journal, and the drawings kind of started out pretty terrible. There was on day 2 this one, I did not want to show her, because the way I would do it would be text all my goals with their check marks, and then I would send her a picture of what I drew in my journal that day to prove that I had done that task. And I remember thinking on day 2, yeah, I'm gonna fail this challenge. That's embarrassing to show her this horrible piece of artwork. I can't do that, and I'm just gonna give up now. And it's not that embarrassing, and I'm glad I just pushed through and sent the picture, because not only was that brave of me, and good job, Mac, for doing that, but I can see myself throughout this challenge getting better. Every day the drawings improved, and part of me wishes I just kept up with that challenge and still drew something in my journal every day. I definitely left Cumorah and started drawing more often in my journal, but I didn't draw something every day at all, by far. And I'm sitting here filming this video thinking that would have been just so amazing. Can you imagine how good I would be if I went from Cumorah and then continued to draw every single day, and now a year later, can you imagine the skill I would have? So maybe I will start drawing in my journal every single day, draw something in my journal, and I'll do a 2-year Cumorah recap and see how good I've improved, how much better I am, because the accountability challenge helped me improve a lot. I was way more confident in my drawing, my skill improved, and you can see it. I have physical proof in my journals that my drawing improved. I got more confident. In a future journal, I drew Bolt, like the dog from the movie. Me. I did that. What? It was crazy. So I am a huge fan of the accountability challenge. If you go as a student, you'll get to do it, and life-changing, amazing. I wanna, where can I sign up for another one? To keep me more accountable and to help me accomplish my goals better. So it was awesome. Loved the accountability challenge. All right, we can go back into the journal now, which starts here with the Charles Bridge drawing, which was my accountability challenge day 1 sketch. The accountability challenge was a huge part of my experience at Cumorah, so I'm going to be referencing it a lot. But that was day 1. It looks like I pressed some canola in my journal. I forgot about that. So pretty. I love the canola flowers. That was my poem that I wrote for Cumorah that Patrick shared to his LinkedIn, which was awesome. And I just have some more journaling. Here's day 2, which I was very embarrassed about at the time. It's definitely not the best drawing ever, but I was very embarrassed. Oh, and we're going through, so move my body, drink 2 cups of water before breakfast, personal study, and sketch something in my journal. Those were my tasks. At least that's what it started. Then, you keep adding more tasks each week. But here's some more sketches, and I do totally think that my artwork, my confidence in drawing totally improved the whole challenge. So it's kind of cool to look back on it and see the beginning drawings versus the ending, and kind of see where that confidence grew and I got better at it. So fun. On April 30th in the Czech Republic, they have a Burning of the Witches celebration that we got to go to, and I got to create content for, and we got to join the next town and go to this bonfire. It was really fun. I went on another trip to Prague, where I learned the hard way that you can't just buy your Metro card. If you're ever in Prague, you need to actually scan it in before you go on the Metro. Learned that. We tried turdelnik, which is delicious, and that was my accountability sketch. And I have a couple more accountability sketches here. Kofola is like Coke here, but I've actually never tried Coca-Cola, so I wouldn't know how to compare it, but Kofola is kind of weird. And I was watching some movies with one of the other interns, Faith, and we watched Return to Me, which is one of my favorites. And I drew Nutella for one of the accountability sketches, and then just some journaling. Here's more sketches. I was in room number 17, and that was the view. My window view was amazing. Beautiful canola fields. If you're gonna go to Cumorah, I would suggest going in spring. Spring was breathtakingly beautiful. Other fun things that I did my first month, I joined the choir at Cumorah Academy, and that was super fun. I had so much drawing practice, and me and Faith, that one intern, we were really good friends, and we watched so many movies, and we hung out a lot. My roommate Paige was amazing. All the interns were amazing. All the students were amazing. I just met some awesome people there. I wrote a lot of poems. This is another accountability sketch that I did. It was just such a fun trip. It's been so fun rereading all these journal entries because it just brings me back. There's this little pond behind Cumorah, a little walk away from Cumorah, and it just became my spot. I was out by that pond every day, if not every other day, and I wrote a bunch of poems there. I drew, I prayed a bunch. I really got to learn more about myself and more about God, and it just was a really special place for me at Cumorah. These last few pages of this journal, we went to Germany. We went to Freiburg, Germany, and I got to go to the temple there, eat some pretzels. It was gorgeous. It was only a day trip, so I definitely need to go back and explore Germany because the drive was absolutely gorgeous. Very green, and I want to go back. It was not long enough. And then me and a couple other intern friends got to go to Czech Republic, which is like you're walking into a fairy tale. It is absolutely gorgeous, and just such a beautiful town in the Czech Republic. So absolutely loved that. Again, we were there for like a day, and I need to go back because seriously, that's the best way I can describe it. You walk into a fairy tale. Here I have more chocolate because I ate a bunch of the chocolate there. It was very good. Look at this beautiful fairy tale. I love Czech Republic, so definitely want to go back. And I think we're nearing the end of the journal. This was like a month in, and it was so fun. I loved this journal. In the Czech Republic, when you leave a town, they have a little sign with the name of said town and a red cross through it, signifying that you're leaving the town. And I thought that was such a fun thing, and I ended up doing it to signify the end of my first journal. Alright, this was month 2 and journal 2. I covered it in stickers. You can't really see because of the sun. Covered it in stickers. I love this journal so much. It just makes my heart so happy because this was like my trip journal. That was just so fun. So it starts in Rome. I went to Rome for the mid-semester break. You get to go travel somewhere in Europe, wherever you want to go, or you could stay at Cumorah too. You get like 4 days, maybe more, for a mid-semester break. And lots of students went to Rome, and I was one of them, and it was amazing. Then also in this journal, I went to London, which was so good. And this journal is just so fun to me, and I have so many drawings in it. So many drawings, so many poems, so many fun experiences. London was amazing. Rome was amazing. I just adore this journal, and it's already, I know it's going to be really fun looking back on it because I have all my souvenirs from the trips, and I have a whole bunch of artwork in here. So I am very, very excited to go through this with you. My second journal at Cumorah started with some stickers, obviously, to cover the cover and to put on the first couple of pages. Just cover it in stickers about Prague. Then I have an extra Český Krumlov postcard that I stuck in. And then I have a few journal entries. The accountability challenge ended pretty soon after this journal started. So I have a few drawings, and then the accountability challenge ended, and I still kept up with the drawings, but I didn't do it like every day as part of the accountability challenge. So I think I have this zombie and then a few more drawings, and then I ended my last day of the accountability challenge. I drew some coffee to end the morning routine accountability challenge. And that drawing, I remember being really quick because that day I was getting on a plane to go to Rome. And so I had to draw really quick so I could send in my text before the time ran out and before I was on an airplane with no service. Rome was so good. I know I've said that of like every single place I went to on this trip, but it was seriously so good and I want to go back. We did spend 4 days in Rome. I think I had gelato like 3 times a day. So it was a lot longer than my other trips, but I loved it and want to go back and visit Italy and explore other places in Italy as well as Rome again. It was so fun. So you will get a mid-semester break if you go to Cumorah, and you do get to travel if you want to on the weekends, and it was just so fun. I love Italy, and Cumorah just gave me a travel bug. I caught the desire to travel all the time now because it was so fun. And this is a little bit of a tangent, but rereading this journal, I'm so impressed by how many drawings are in the journal. Like, the accountability challenge has ended at this point, but still I'm like drawing so many things that were in Rome, and it's just really impressive to me that I became more confident and more willing to draw. I want to bring that back to my journal because I feel like I'm not doing that as often now, and that was something that Cumorah helped me become really confident in that through the accountability challenge, and I'm really proud seeing all these additional drawings in there. Rome was such a good experience. I had a lot of cool bring me to God moments in Rome, and it was just a beautiful place. I absolutely loved it. I totally forgot about this art style, and I did it so much in this journal and in my third Cumorah journal. I think it's called neurographic art. I loved it. I found out about it, I think I was Googling something for a blog or something while I was at Cumorah, and found out about it and loved it. And yeah, you'll see it come up in this journal quite often and in my next one. But then I haven't done that art style at all since leaving Cumorah, so maybe I'll make a video doing neurographic art in my current journal because it's so fun and I just loved it. And it's so fun seeing all these drawings in here. This day I had a little photo printer that arrived at Cumorah that was so fun to then go print off pictures. And here we made a video on what the 6 values are at Cumorah, and I got to make the video in my journal, and that was really fun. Here I'm printing out pictures, it looks like. I brought a Polaroid with me, so that was really fun to go take pictures everywhere with my Polaroid. More neurographic art. I think it's so cool. Yeah, I need to do that again because that was such a fun art form in my journal. And then we went to London, which is probably my favorite trip ever. It was so great, and we only spent like a day in London. We were just gone for the weekend, and it was so good though. Everything was so clean, and it just looked lovely. Honestly, we rushed through everything. I want to go back, but it was the coolest trip ever. And I think the little stickers and everything I got in London were so fun to put in my journal. These pages are so fun to look back on. And I need to go back to London. That would be my top place I would want to return to. I think of the whole trip would be London because it was magnificent. We went on the London Eye, went on a double-decker bus, went to the telephone booth, had the classic London experience. We saw Wicked on West End, which was so phenomenal. We went to M&M World. London was so good. I literally cannot say that it was so good enough times because it was just amazing. And it was only one short day there and I want to go back. When you come to Cumorah as a student, you're sorted into one of 5 groups. These groups are called houses, kind of like Harry Potter. And this group is who you will mostly spend your time with at Cumorah. You'll hang out with them a lot. These groups are actually run by a student who's already been at Cumorah for 1 semester. They did their semester as a student, and now they're coming back as, they call them an SLI, but they are the intern who's kind of in charge of that group because they've been here before. While I was at Cumorah, 2 of the SLIs decided to go home for various reasons, but they needed someone to cover those groups without their SLI now. And they ended up asking me to cover the Isaiah group and be the SLI for the Isaiah group, sharing with another intern, Faith. We would both be SLIs for the Isaiah group, and they pulled out the sorting hat, had a whole ceremony calling us to be the new SLIs for the Isaiah group. And it was awesome. I learned so much as an SLI. It was really cool to see another aspect of Cumorah, and there were people in the Isaiah group that I really needed to get to know better. It was an amazing experience to be an SLI, on top of being a content creator for Cumorah. Both were amazing experiences, and I'm actually really grateful that I got to do both. Here, the Isaiah group is doing a service project. We had every house does a service project, and the content creator and the photographer got to go to help. I went for the Isaiah one because I was in the Isaiah group, but I got to go to all the service projects in order to write blogs about them and posts about them. So those were really fun, and those were kind of toward the end of this journal and the second month. I also started watching How I Met Your Mother during my free time, and that was a great show. So I wrote about that in my journal. My second journal was so fun. Lots of traveling, lots of drawing. I hit my second month in Cumorah, and it was a great time, great experience. This was my third journal for my third and final month in the Czech Republic at Cumorah, and it was just so good. I love this journal too. It's so pretty. I bought it in Rome, so it's just gorgeous. The paper is a little thin. It bled through a lot, but it was so fun, and so many good memories happened in this journal. I'm so excited to go back and read it. Cumorah tries to go on a few trips throughout the semester as a school, and one of them that we went on was to Terezín. Terezín was the only concentration camp in the Czech Republic, or I guess Czechoslovakia at the time. It's about 90 miles north of Prague, and it was really hard to go to. It was not a great place. Horrors happened there, and it was hard. I learned a lot. I ended up coming home from Terezín and being the content creator. I got to write a blog about Terezín, and I wanted to not just say, oh, we went here, but I wanted to really give it the respect and sacred space that it deserves, and the people who suffered and died there deserve. So this journal entry about Terracine goes on for quite a while because I really dived into what happened at Terracine. I wanted to learn all the facts, and that was really hard. But I really loved going there. I think it was important for me. I learned so much. I grew so much. I did have these random doodle pages, but I had done those before I went to Terracine, so they were just kind of in the middle of the journal entry, which feels a little silly, but maybe it was okay. Kind of breaks up the journal entry a little bit, gives you time to breathe. I'm so grateful that I went to Terracine. I learned so much. I feel like I'm a better person because I went to Terracine. All of a sudden, those World War II books and movies became so much more real. We first went into this one prison cell in the camp. It was pretty big for a cell, I thought, the size of a small bedroom, but our tour guide said this is one of the main cells. They would put up to 90 people in here. No food, water, or light for days. 90 people? I can't even imagine. The room had one tiny window, but it was often blocked off. How could they breathe? The smell would be sickening. They would be so claustrophobic. They had to sleep standing up. We were all silent and horrified as the guide explained all this. In the corner of the ceiling of that cell was a bird's nest. When someone pointed it out, our tour guide said, "I guess that is good. Something happy for once in this bleak place." I don't even have the right words to describe Terracine or the impact of the bird, but seeing the bird was a profound moment for me. I don't even know why, just a glimmer of hope in the circumstances we were in. I read another article that mentioned seeing birds and nests in Terracine, and it said, "I think daily of these birds and what I hope is their role on this sad planet. I hope they are angels wiping away the tears of those who were murdered here." It's a trite and sentimental thought, but there's a fierceness behind it that must be covered up, because alongside the ferocity is its companion, the longing to swaddle too, to wrap up in soft white cloths and soft songs and prayers and offer loving. The birds seem to offer both, claws and beaks as well as feathers and wings. The birds, everything is the swallows, their eggs, the babies born here, the lingering smell in the concrete room, terror, horror, cruelty. You know, my mom was talking to me the other day, and she told me a quote. I don't think she came up with it, but a quote that even the dullest pencil is sharper than your memory. We were talking about journaling and how journaling is awesome, helps you remember things. And there are some things about Terracine that I forgot about. And I'm really glad that Past Mac wrote it down. This is a horrible journal entry and really sad. Terracine was awful. But I'm really glad I wrote it down. I needed to remember all this. I hope someday that I can go to Auschwitz and to go to the other concentration camps. It made those World War II stories real. They weren't just movies or books. And it was really powerful. Really horrific, really awful, but might be one of my favorite parts of my time at Cumorah because of the person I became because of it and how much growth and learning there took place. Yeah. Every week at Cumorah, you have mentors who come and visit and teach leadership principles, and they're just amazing. So right now I'm covering the address for the mentors, and I'm just gonna kind of skip over the pages I wrote about each mentor. As the content creator, I got to meet with the mentors and interview them in order to write blogs and posts about them. And that was the best. I think I had the greatest job because I got to meet one-on-one with each of them and really get to know them. And I met some amazing mentors. They were all amazing, and they taught me so much, and I'm so grateful that I got to have that one-on-one time. Meeting with the mentors was honestly one of my favorite parts of being the content creator intern. Cumorah has many internship opportunities. There were interns who taught the English class, an intern who taught business, one who taught coding. There was a wellness intern who was there to help the students be okay, and be a resource that way. So many internship opportunities. So if you're looking for an internship and you want a life-changing, amazing Czech Republic internship, highly recommend Cumorah, but also I highly recommend the content creator internship because I may be biased, but that one is the best. Continuing in my journal, we had the 4th of July. This page makes me laugh because we were trying to make homemade ice cream, and the chefs at Cumorah are fantastic, but they only speak Czech, and they got milk instead of the cream, or the half and half, and we didn't realize until midway through making the ice cream that wasn't working. And that was just a funny story, fun to look back on. You will be well fed at Cumorah. The chefs are amazing. I tried lots of Czech dishes that I really like, and they just make really good food. This page I wrote down the poems I wrote while I was at Cumorah. Like I said, it was just really good for me. A lot of creativity happened at Cumorah. It looks like doodles of fruit that I didn't finish. Right now, in this period, we're preparing to go home because the semester ended July 12th. So I'm like finishing up some things and packing and making sure all the content is finished. And we are getting ready for graduation, which was so fun. These are some notes that members in the Isaiah house gave Faith and I. We're so cute. And I can't believe I drew that. This is graduation. They had all the decorations up, and we got our little diplomas for graduating, and it was so fun. As I flipped through these last few pages of me packing up and getting ready to leave and saying goodbye to Cumorah, I did just want to talk really quick about going to Cumorah. If you are 18 to 30 and looking for a life-changing semester that will be wonderful and amazing, then I highly recommend going to Cumorah. I'll put all the links in the description below so that you can check them out. Seriously, it's life-changing. If you're in college and looking for a fun internship, go to Cumorah Academy. Literally best internship ever. You will not regret it. If you're not 18 to 30 and you can't be a student or an intern, sign up to be a mentor. You'll get to come teach for a week and meet all the students, and they could use your guidance. It will be amazing. I cannot wait till I get to come back as a mentor, so you should sign up. Also, if you don't fit into any of those categories but you would like to donate, Cumorah Academy is a nonprofit and they would love donations or help. Again, this is not a sponsored video, but I will put all the links in the description if you're interested. Cumorah Academy changed my life and I love it so much. And being back a year right now, I'm just reflecting on how wonderful it was. So I wanted to share these last few pages in my journal. I was journaling about packing, journaling about going on the plane home. When I got home, my siblings had made me an office-themed welcome home party. Here is possibly the best picture I took on the whole trip, me with my 3 filled up journals, which was just awesome and cool to see again. And then this is a picture of me and Camilla, the photographer intern, and also named Camilla, the marketing director. And that was so fun. Camilla, the marketing director, came to Cumorah, and the marketing team was so nice to work with. They were amazing. I absolutely loved this internship so much, and I'm just so beyond grateful for it. So there you go, those are all 3 of my journals. I'm so happy that I was able to reread them again. It's been a while and I haven't looked at them, so it was so fun for me to go relive those memories. I'm grateful that I kept a journal during my time there, and I hope that I can fill more journals with more Cumorah Academy experiences, because I love Cumorah so much, and I'm so excited, looking forward to the day where I can come back and visit again. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, welcome to my channel. Okay. Okay. I don't know what I'm saying. Bloopers, we can just cut.